Hello, everyone. I am going to be talking about how to date when you really don't feel like it. If you don't know me, I'm Thompson. I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I help accomplished women go from being single to attracting and keeping the love of their lives. So, if you are watching live, you can pop questions in the live chat. You can ask me anything about dating and relationships. And if you're watching the replay, pop a comment in the comments section. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you think of what I'm talking about here. And if you could subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon and click all, and you will get notified when I post a video. Okay, I have got my notes here. So, how to date when you really don't feel like it. So many of you have told me that you don't want to date, that maybe sometimes you just don't feel like dating. Now, if you are not looking for a relationship, then why on earth would you date? If you are looking for a relationship, then dating is a very, very effective way of meeting the love of your life. When done wrong, dating can feel demoralizing, exhausting, and lead you to feeling like you want to give up. Dating done right can be the fastest track way to meeting the love of your life. Seriously. I'm just thinking now, I would say every one of my clients who have met the love of their life, they're either married now or in an awesome relationship, unlike any they've been in before, met their partner online dating. And I did too. Hi to everyone watching. Please do pop a message in the chat. Let me know where you're calling from. Just a hi is great. And also, if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn and for some reason you're finding you can't comment, send me a DM and let me know. This is the third live stream, so there's going to be glitches along the way, but I would really, really love to hear from you. So what happens is, many people have told me, you don't want to date. I don't want to date. I find it exhausting. I find it demoralizing. I find it disappointing. I find it a waste of my time. Okay. As we said at the beginning, dating is a fantastic way to meeting the love of your life. Dating is a vehicle to getting what you want. Dating is not the destination. So I'd love for you to take on the idea that you don't have to love dating. You don't have to even like dating. It's okay. So if you're feeling exhausted with dating, if you're feeling demoralized and fed up with it and resistant to it, it may be, hi there, Vicky. It may well be because of the amount of effort you're putting out towards dating. Now, I know that might feel strange because you're thinking, well, of course, I need to put effort in if I'm looking for a relationship. Yeah, you need to make the effort to get yourself on the apps, to write your profile, and you need to make some time, and I will talk more about this later, you need to make some time to be on the apps. However, the effort that we put in that makes us want to give up is thinking about the guys, worrying about, am I going to meet someone or not? Analyzing men's behavior. Like if a man has just disappeared, you might find yourself going, oh, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? Some self-reflection is great, especially if you're working with somebody who understands dating and you really want to kind of understand your patterns and your habits. However, often we overthink things. And let me know if you can relate to this. We overthink and we will be trying to work out his behavior. All of that is labor. And it's going to make you feel like dating is taking over your life. So I would love for you to see if you can see dating as like a side hustle. It's a side hustle that you are not going to give up on. And the real juice of your life are your passions, your spiritual connection, your personal growth, your friendships, taking care of your mind and your body and your spirit, doing the things in your life that you love. That's the juice. That's the main thing. However, dating is a side hustle that you are not going to give up on. And that is the vital thing here, that it is something that you're not going to give up on. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, pop a heart in the chat if you resonate with what I'm saying. And I'm sure so many of you will anyway. I mean, this is amazing information. What I'm sharing now is exactly what I needed to hear when I was dating. So, and please, if you're trying to comment from Facebook or LinkedIn and you're struggling to know how to, or you can't do it, head on over to YouTube and just pop your comment in the live chat, or send me a DM and let me know. I couldn't message Naomi or I couldn't comment, and then we know. So here are some simple ways, and I'm playing with the banners here as well. The first is keep it simple. Keep it simple. When you're dating, so I'm going to talk about some of the nuts and bolts of dating as well as the emotions that come with it. The first is nuts and bolts, simple stuff. And I'm looking at my notes here as my eyes are flicking. The first is always have a video call before agreeing to meet. In these days and times, plenty of people that very rarely will someone feel uncomfortable having a video call. So much remote working, FaceTime, Zoom, Teams meetings, we just have video calls. And if someone is saying to you, oh, I feel uncomfortable video calling, I would question whether there's somebody you actually do want to meet. Because the deeper thing here is relationships do take a level of discomfort at times. A great relationship is actually quite easy, but sometimes we need to have important conversations. Sometimes we need to express our needs and our wants and our boundaries. We need to be able to, ourselves and the partner we choose, be able to sit with a certain level of discomfort at times and not run away, not duck out, not shut down. So really what you want is someone to show you they can feel a certain level of discomfort. Have that video call, and then keep the first date short and simple. Meet for a coffee for an hour, meet for a walk somewhere really public. Keep it simple. Now, I've heard many dating and relationship coaches saying, no, you're a high value woman, only meet a guy for dinner on a first date. What I would say to that is, unless you already know someone through work or through friendship groups, this is a brand new person you're meeting on the dating site. Hopefully you will have had some good quality interaction with him, some video calls. But I would say for your first date, when you're first time meeting in person, keep it short. Don't worry about thinking you have to hold out for dinner dates. They can come later. You're going to want to know, how do I feel in the presence of this man? Hi to everybody who's here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Great to see some of you live. If you're watching the replay, please leave comments in the chat so I know you're here. And if you're watching live, leave your comments and questions. So keeping it short is going to give you a sense of, do we actually like each other? Do we want to have a longer date? Do we want to spend more time together? It just stops you wasting your time. And also, make sure you look good enough, but you don't have to spend 2 hours getting ready for a first date. Just make sure your hair's brushed, you're wearing some clothes you feel good in, you maybe pop a little bit of makeup on, and tie in. Remember, we're seeing dating as like a side hustle, but a side hustle that you are committed to. You're not going to give up on, but you're not kind of taking it too seriously in a worrying kind of way. So what I used to do is I would have my shopping bags in the car and I would do my supermarket shopping after the date. What that does, that makes dating just a part of your life, but not your whole life. Okay, the second is to let go of attachment to the outcome. It's so easy for us to be dating and thinking, oh my God, I really want a relationship. This guy seems amazing. Oh my God, I think it's gonna be fabulous, and then you meet him, and he's not the kind of guy you thought he was. You've not got the connection you thought you'd have, then you feel disappointed. That again is like emotionally draining. It's emotionally exhausting. So just dating and going, having the vibe of, okay, I can't control this. All I have to do is stay visible, keep dating, and trust that my man will show up. It takes away the urgency, and dating becomes something that you can just not take it or leave it because I want you to keep dating, but actually it's not something that is going to kind of make or break you. The next one is control the apps. Don't let the apps control you. So the apps have, they work on an algorithm, and they want you to stay on the app. They want you to stay there. They want you to upgrade. They want you to pay them more money. They want that. So what I'd say is give yourself some structure, because it can get very addicting. So if you are swiping, so I have ADHD, I have a dopamine search radar in my brain. I would get addicted to, maybe the next guy I swipe will be the one. Maybe the next guy, maybe the next guy. That will exhaust you. It will make you feel crap about yourself if you're up too late swiping. So beat the apps, beat the algorithm, and just have inside of yourself some choices, some boundaries for yourself. Okay, I'm going to be on the app for 10 minutes and 15 minutes in the morning before work, and for 10 minutes in the evening. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to swipe, create matches, and answer messages. And turn off the notifications so you don't get pinging in your phone. That is going to keep it really kind of calm for you. And so those are the three. I think this is, they are so helpful, these. They seem really, really simple, but they are so helpful. So thank you, Vicky. Vicky's popped some questions that came in from Facebook, YouTube, and email. So let me see. Somebody said, here we go. Okay, somebody said, how do you go from 50-50 split dates to the whole feminine energy of letting a man lead and letting a man pay for the dates, and so you can feel courted? Okay, so if you've already started on that track, this is going to take like a courageous conversation, and you can keep it simple. How I see this is, if a guy asks you out, then you can absolutely expect that he's going to pay for the date. And I would want for you to let a man lead and to let him do the asking out and the planning of the dates, especially early on, because you're going to feel courted, you're going to feel good. So what I'd say is from now on, let him lead the dating process. So just lean back. I'm just going to lift up my chair a little bit. Just lift up my chair. So from now on, I would say, let him lead. Let him lean forward. Let him be the one to initiate the next date. And have conversation with him. Just say to him, I love our dates and I love being out together. I've noticed that something, when I split a bill with a man, I have this sort of feeling that I'm out with my brother, and it feels, I know we've started on that track, but it actually starts to make me feel turned off. I really feel turned on when a man takes care of things. What are your thoughts about that? Now, obviously, I want you to use your words and only use my words if they resonate with you. But that would be what I would do. You can also, when you are on a date, if he's asked you out and said, look, let's go for dinner, is to just let him pick up the bill and notice all the discomfort in your body. And when he picks up the bill, just give him that appreciation. Or if he even just buys you coffee or something, just say thank you and just appreciate him. But at this point, I think it'd be really good if you have that conversation with him. Okay. Someone said, I'm on a pen pal site writing to men. I would like to practice writing from my feminine energy using this medium, but the messages are not necessarily romantic. Any suggestions on what to say? Yeah. Okay. So masculine energy is about thinking, doing, problem solving, and leading. Feminine energy is about, instead of thinking, it's feeling. Instead of giving, it's receiving. Instead of doing, it's being. Doesn't mean you never do any thinking or doing or giving. But when you're communicating with men and you're wanting to practice being in your feminine energy, then I would just, if you're on a pen pal site, tell him how you feel. Just say, tell him about how your life has felt recently, what you've done and what has felt good. Hi to anyone who's just joined. I'm taking your questions. Please do pop your questions into the chat. And thank you. Yes, you just had this happen to you. On a second date, he asked me to pay part of the date. On a third date, I did have a conversation with him, but I don't know if I said the right thing. It was awkward. Okay, I'll just pop your question on here. You know, my darling, I would say, let's take away the whole idea of right and wrong and good and bad. You know, you can't get this wrong. You can only do your best with what you're equipped with at any moment. I will soon create a program for feminine communication. So how to say these things in a way that is very feminine. And I would say the most important thing here is to give yourself a whole load of love. Well done for having this conversation. You know, well done for having the conversation. And I would tell him, give him appreciation for when he does pay, and say to him, I don't expect my man to take care of me financially forever. You know, I work, I can. However, something in me feels turned off when I pay half. You know, that is so real and so true. And a man does not want you to be turned off him. He wants you to be turned on to him. Okay, next question. How do you date somebody if you have an intellectual disability? Okay. So obviously I'd need to know a little bit more about that. So I have ADHD, which is like a neuro disability. It's different from a learning disability, Jasmine. Is that what you mean? Is that more of a learning disability? Let me see. I would just say, understand yourself and what you need. Whether you are a highly sensitive person, whether you take a longer time to process, whether you struggle to understand emotions, whether you get anxious, it's understanding yourself and then only going after relationships, only staying in relationships or dating situationships that you feel that your need is being met. So for example, I am a very sensitive person. I have ADHD. Rejection sensitivity can come with that. I know that I cannot have a relationship with a man who's hot and cold. I knew the sensitive part of me needed to be able to feel really safe with a very solid, patient, kind man. So Jasmine, yes, it's a learning disability. Okay. So if you have a learning disability, then you will find that you will get, and your partner will get, your relationship needs best met if you meet someone who has a similar intellectual ability to you. So I was speaking to someone recently, a young man in the area I live, who's experiencing that. If you are trying to date people who are very neurotypical and don't have any kind of intellectual disability, they may not get their relational needs met with you. If you were to date somebody who has a lower intellectual level than you, has a higher disability to you, you may not get your relationship needs met. So there are quite a few dating apps and groups for adults with learning disabilities, and they may be really good at helping match you with someone where you feel like you're going to get your relational needs met. Yes, Raquel, you had the courage to do it and it felt good. Great. That's it. There's no right and wrong here. But if you can express your feelings in I statements and feel statements, this is what happens for me. It takes away the blame to him. It takes away that, oh, I felt uncomfortable when you asked me to pay. Rather, it's, I notice when I pay half, I kind of feel turned off. So that is a great, great, great way of putting it. So we have some more questions here. This one, I think, was emailed to me. How can I be receiving of his efforts in a warm way when he isn't thoughtful? Am I right to sit back and observe how he shows up? If there's no real effort from him, then it's bye-bye next. Okay. So basically, when somebody's effort comes towards you, whether someone is opening a door for you or whether someone is reaching out or buying you flowers or doing something kind, I would want you to be receptive and appreciative, whatever. Thank you. That feels really good. If it did feel good for you, yeah, be authentic. But if you are dating someone, he's not really being very thoughtful, there is no real effort by him, I would like you to take the path of minimal effort. I have this in my KISS dating method, the path, which is keep it super simple, or keep it simple, sister. The path of minimal effort is you just exactly softening back, sit back, and notice how he shows up. Notice if he is able to meet you, if he is able to kind of step up and lead a relationship. Is he someone? Because the thing is, the groove a relationship starts in is normally the groove it continues in. So if somebody is making very little effort, they're not particularly thoughtful, they're waiting for you to take the lead, the chances are 2 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, it's still going to be exactly the same, except you're going to be more frustrated and angry. So sit back, notice how he shows up, process your emotions, notice if you're feeling angry or resentful towards him, and just let him show you who he is. If you all can have the kind of vibe, and the vibe is, show me who you are, and I will act accordingly. Show me who you are, and I will decide if I share my mind, my body, more time with you. Just show me who you are. So, my loves, right, I will take this one off. So let me just pop that one on. So, my loves, that is everything for today. I think that is all of the questions. Oh, here we go. One more question. Should I keep dating him? He's regularly communicating. He said he never had a woman say anything about 50-50, and that's the way he's dated. Okay. I would decide and maybe get curious, because the thing is, what we've got to remember as women, it is in our biology to feel safe and get that turned on, not just sexually, but just feel turned on and romantic about a man when he shows provision, when he shows protection. And when a man doesn't, we do feel turned off in some way. So this isn't about the money. And I had this conversation with my partner early on in dating, even though he was paying for things, but we just had the conversation. And I said, look, it's not about the money, but something in me feels turned off, and I don't want to feel turned off. So that's my dilemma. Because the thing is, Raquel, by communicating all of this, you are safeguarding the relationship. Because if you continue in the relationship feeling a bit turned off, And if it didn't bother you, you probably wouldn't even be asking it now. But feeling a bit turned off, feeling like his effort isn't really in, then you will start to feel resentful. Now, it depends. If his effort is really there in loads of other areas, but he just doesn't have a lot of income right now, then you've got a few choices. One is you could say to him, if I feel a real romantic connection with someone and I feel like I'm being courted and I feel turned on when a guy takes care of the early dates, and dates don't have to be expensive. I feel happy with, like, coffees or picnic or sandwiches in the park. That feels fine for me. So what you're saying to him is, I really want to feel courted, and that makes me feel romanced. And that, my darling, is okay. It doesn't have to be logical. Feelings and feminine energy isn't logical, and it absolutely doesn't have to be. And as Vicky says, yes, patience is key. Absolutely. So, my loves, if you're not already following me, click subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell, and you will get notified every time I go live. That's my pleasure, Raquel. It's my pleasure. And also, if you don't already have it, you can get my free audio training by going here. I will put it in the comments section of the YouTube video, and I will pop it in now. And if you are watching you're watching the replay, then absolutely, if you're watching the replay, then pop your comment below. Pop your comment in the comment section of the video. Let me know how this chimed with you. And my loves, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.